April 1, 2009, Salalah, Oman. The port of Salalah is a symphony of steel and diesel. It is the last stop before the Indian Ocean opens up into the lawless void of the Somali basin. The Maersk Alabama sits at the dock. She is not a sleek yacht. She is a working-class hero of the global economy, a 17,000-ton container ship, 508 feet long, painted the distinctive industrial blue of the Maersk line. She is rusting in places. She smells of bunker fuel, salt spray, and the heavy, humid air of the Arabian Peninsula. Her cargo is vital. She is carrying 5,000 metric tons of relief supplies, vegetable oil, corn-soya blend, high-energy biscuits. This is food for the starving refugees in Kenya, Uganda, and Somalia. Captain Richard Phillips stands on the bridge wing, watching the loading cranes. He is 53 years old, a New Englander from Vermont. He is not the type of man who seeks the spotlight. He is a merchant mariner, a breed of sailor known for their stoicism and their strict adherence to the chain of command. He wears wire-rimmed glasses and a uniform that is practical, not ceremonial. He checks his watch. He checks the manifest. He is a man of routine. In the chaotic world of maritime shipping, routine is the only thing that keeps you alive. Check the pirate cages, Phillips barks into his handheld radio. Pirate cages secure, Captain, comes the crackling reply from the deck. The pirate cages are steel grates welded over the external stairwells. They are designed to prevent boarders from reaching the accommodation block, the white tower where the crew lives and works. Phillips knows where they are going. They are heading south, toward Mombasa, directly through the high-risk area. To the insurance companies in London, it is a zone of elevated premiums. To the sailors on deck, it is Indian country. The crew of the Maersk Alabama is a small, tight-knit group of 20 Americans. They are union men. They work hard, they complain about overtime, and they trust their ship. Chief Engineer Mike Perry is in the engine room. He is the heart of the ship, a man who can fix anything with a wrench and a curse word. He runs the engine room like his own personal kingdom. Shane Murphy, the chief mate, is Phillips' right hand. He is younger, sharp, and fiercely loyal to the captain, even when Phillips is being difficult. And Phillips can be difficult. He is known as Yankee by some of the crew. He is demanding. He runs drills constantly. Fire drill at 1400, Phillips tells Murphy. Again, Captain? Murphy asks. The guys are tired. We just finished loading. Again, Phillips says. If we get hit, we don't have time to think. We only have time to react. The crew grumbles. They are tired of the drills. They are tired of the pirate paranoia. He's riding us too hard, helmsman ATM Zach Reza mutters in the mess hall. We're a cargo ship, not a battleship. But Phillips ignores the grumbling. He knows the statistics. Piracy in the Gulf of Aden has spiked 200% in the last year. Ships are being taken. Ransoms are being paid. He inspects the fire hoses. He inspects the locks on the heavy steel doors. He is locking down his fortress, 400 miles to the south, Isle, Somalia. The contrast is absolute. Salalah is a modern port of commerce. Isle is a graveyard of rusted trawlers and broken dreams. There is no government here. The police station is a ruin. The Coast Guard is a memory. The town is run by the warlords. It is a place of dust, heat, and desperate ambition. Abdulwali Muse sits in a tea house chewing khat. Khat is the fuel of Somalia, a narcotic leaf that suppresses appetite and induces a manic, high-energy focus. Muse is barely 20 years old. He is skinny, his ribs showing through his t-shirt, but his eyes are bright and dangerous. He is a fisherman by trade, but the fish are gone. Illegal trawlers from Europe and Asia have scraped the seabed clean. Now, the only catch worth hunting is steel. The local investors, Men in SUVs with satellite phones are putting together a crew. The big ships are coming, an investor tells Muse. The monsoon has passed, the water is flat. In Isle, piracy is a business. It has a stock market. You invest in a skiff, an engine, an RPG, and you get a percentage of the ransom. Muse wants in. He has nothing. No job. No future. No way to feed his family. He gathers his team. A Dan. The muscle. A quiet, terrifying man who knows how to use a knife. Ali. The driver. He has a talent for coaxing speed out of the battered Yamaha outboard engines. Bilal. The teenager. He is just a kid, really. He has never held a real job. He carries an AK-47 that is older than he is. They go down to the beach. They load 2 skiffs. These are fiberglass panga boats, fast and low in the water. They load the tools of the trade. A grappling hook ladder made of aluminum tubes. Rusty AK-47s wrapped in plastic to keep the salt out. An RPG-7 rocket launcher with 2 warheads. They don't have GPS charts. They have a handheld Garmin. They don't have food. They have cat, water, and cigarettes. They push off into the surf. They are hunting leviathans in a bathtub toy. It is a suicide mission. But in Isle, suicide is just a career path. April 6, 2009. The Indian Ocean. The Maersk Alabama is steaming south at 18 knots. The ocean is a deep, bruised purple. The sky is a relentless, baking white. Phillips is on the bridge. He is reading emails from the Maritime Safety Center. Warning to all mariners. Skiffs reported in Sector 4. Attack imminent. He looks at the map. They are right in the middle of Sector 4. He calls the engine room. Chief, give me everything she's got. I want to keep the speed up. I'm giving you 110% cap, Perry replies. She's vibrating like a guitar string. Phillips orders the lights out at night. The Maersk Alabama becomes a ghost ship. No deck lights, no navigation lights. Just a massive black shadow moving through the dark. Inside the accommodation block, the mood is tense. The crew eats in shifts. Meatloaf, potatoes, green beans. They talk about home, about the Red Sox, about their kids. But every time the ship hits a wave, heads snap up. Was that a bump? Just a swell, relax. They sleep in their boots. They keep knives in their pockets. Phillips stays awake. He drinks coffee. He stares at the radar screen. The radar is a glowing green eye. Most of the time, it is empty. But Phillips knows that the ocean is big and his ship is small. He writes an email to his wife, Andrea, back in Vermont. Heading into the bad water now. Don't worry. Routine trip. Love, Rich. He hits send. It is the last routine thing he will do for a long time. April 7th, 2009. Muse and his crew have been at sea for 2 days. They are exhausted. Their skin is salt-crusted. They are high on cot. They have found a mothership, a hijacked fishing trawler that towed them out to the shipping lanes. Now, they are casting off. They sit in their skiff, bobbing in the swell. Muse stands up. He scans the horizon. He sees smoke, a tiny smudge of black against the blue sky. Ship, Muse says. He checks his Garmin. Big ship, slow ship. He signals to the other skiff. They gun the engines. The Yamaha motors whine. The skiffs leap forward, slamming into the waves. They are 40 miles out. It will take them an hour to close the distance. Muse checks his weapon. He racks the slide of his AK-47. He feels the rush, the pirate fever. He is not thinking about the morality of what he is doing. He is thinking about the payday. He is thinking about the $3 million ransom. He is thinking about being a king in Isle. April 8th, 2009. Morning. On the bridge of the Maersk Alabama, the sun is blinding. Shane Murphy is on the binoculars. "Captain," Murphy says, his voice tight. "I have a target. 7 miles out, astern. Phillips walks to the radar, a small yellow blip. It is moving fast, too fast for a fishing boat. Phillips grabs the binoculars. He sees 2 white wakes cutting through the water, like scars on the ocean surface. "They're coming," Phillips says calmly. He hits the alarm. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Pirate stations, pirate stations. This is not a drill." The crew drops their coffee cups. They run to their posts. Phillips grabs the radio. He decides to try a bluff. He knows the pirates monitor the maritime channels. He keys the mic. "Warship 237, this is Maersk Alabama. We are under pirate attack. Request immediate assistance." Then he changes his voice. He pitches it lower, authoritative. "This is Warship 237, copy Alabama. We have a helicopter inbound. ETA 5 minutes. In the skiff, Muse hears the radio. He looks at the sky. No helicopter. He looks at the ship. It is huge. It is low in the water. He smiles. "No Navy," Muse yells to his men. "Just talk. Keep going." The bluff has failed. The trip is over. The disaster is about to board. April 8th, 2009, 0730 hours. The bluff has failed. The radio silence from the Navy confirms to Abduwali Muse that the Maersk Alabama is alone. He guns the twin Yamaha engines. The skiff leaps forward. On the bridge, Captain Phillips watches them close the gap. "They're committed," Phillips says. "All hands, brace for maneuvering." He grabs the helm controls. "Hard to starboard." The massive 17,000-ton ship leans. The container stacks groan under the torque. The rudder bites into the water, churning up a massive frothing wake. It is a wall of white water designed to swamp a small boat. Muse sees the water coming. He doesn't back down. He cuts the wheel, riding the crest of the wake like a surfer. The skiff goes airborne. It slams down hard, jarring the pirate's bones. Adan, the muscle, almost falls out. He grips the gunwale, screaming in Somali. "Faster! Faster!" Phillips swings the ship back to port. "Hard to port! Shake them off!" The wake shifts. The skiff is tossed like a toy. But Muse is a fisherman. He knows the ocean better than he knows the land. He anticipates the sway of the ship. He finds the sweet spot, the smooth patch of water directly behind the stern in the suction of the propeller. He pushes the throttle to the stops. They are now 50 feet from the ship, 30 feet, 10 feet. They are in the shadow of the steel hull. "Fire hoses," Phillips yells. Shane Murphy activates the remote pumps. Jets of high-pressure seawater blast over the rails. It creates a curtain of spray. But the Alabama is low in the water. There is a gap in the coverage near the stern quarter. Muse sees it. He steers the skiff right into the blind spot. "Now!" Muse screams. Adan stands up in the bow of the bouncing skiff. He holds the ladder. It is a lightweight aluminum construction, stolen from a construction site in Isle, with hooks welded to the top. He times the roll of the ship. As the Alabama dips down into a trough, Adan throws the ladder. Clang! The metal hooks catch the rail of the ship. It holds. Phillips hears the sound. It reverberates through the steel hull like a bell. "They're hooked on!" Phillips yells into the PA. "Pirates hooked on! Stern quarter!" Adan scrambles up the ladder. He is barefoot. He climbs 20 feet in seconds. He vaults over the rail onto the deck. He is aboard. He raises his rusty AK-47 and fires a burst into the air. Crack, crack, crack. The sound is unmistakable. It is the sound of authority changing hands. Muse follows him up. Then Ali. Then the teenager, Bilal. The fourth pirate, the driver of the second skiff, stays behind as a lookout, but his engine stalls. He drifts away. Now, there are 4 armed men on the deck of a ship the size of a skyscraper. Phillips watches them on the CCTV monitor. He makes the hardest call of his life. All crew to the citadel. Move, move, move. He turns to Shane Murphy and the helmsman, Reza. You two, stay with me. We need to buy them time. I'm not leaving you, Cap, Murphy says. This isn't a debate, Shane. Lock the doors. We hold the bridge as long as we can. Deep in the belly of the ship, the crew is running. The citadel is the steering gear room, a reinforced compartment at the very bottom of the ship, near the rudder post. It is hot, loud, and cramped. Chief Engineer Mike Perry is the last man down. He stops at the main control panel in the engine control room. He has one final card to play. He grabs the master kill switch for the main engine. Click. The massive diesel engine shudders and dies. Then, he hits the auxiliary generators. Click. The lights go out. The radar screens go black. The air conditioning stops. The hum of the ship fades into a terrifying silence. The Maersk Alabama is now a dead ship. It is drifting. It is dark. And it is 120 degrees in the engine room. Perry runs to the citadel. He squeezes inside with the rest of the crew. They lock the heavy steel door from the inside. They have water. They have a radio. They have wrenches and knives. Where is the captain? Third mate Colin Wright asks in the dark. Perry looks at the handheld radio. He stayed up top, Perry whispers. He's facing them alone. On the bridge, the silence is deafening. Phillips stands in the center of the room. He puts his hands on his head. He hears the glass shattering in the stairwell door. He hears the shouting, "Somali! Somali! Open door!" A boot kicks the door open. Abduwali Muse walks onto the bridge. He is wired on cot. He is panting. His eyes are wide and bloodshot. He points the AK-47 at Phillips's chest. Phillips does not flinch. He stares at the young man. "Relax," Phillips says, his voice steady. "Relax. No Al-Qaeda here. Just business." Muse stops. He is surprised by the calmness. He looks around the bridge. He sees Murphy and Reza on the floor. "Where is crew?" Muse demands. "Where is ship?" "Crew is gone," Phillips lies. "They took the lifeboat. I stayed to secure the ship." Muse laughs, a manic, high-pitched sound. "You lie. Ship is big. Crew is hiding." He pistol whips Phillips. It is a fast, brutal motion. The woodstock of the rifle hits Phillips in the cheek. Phillips stumbles, but he doesn't fall. "I am the captain," Phillips says. Muse steps closer. He puts his face inches from Phillips. He smells of rot and leaves. "Look at me," Muse says. "Look at me." Phillips meets his eyes. "I am the captain now." It is not a boast. It is a statement of fact. The gun makes the rules. Muse tries to steer the ship. He grabs the wheel. He turns it. Nothing happens. He looks at the displays. They are dark. "Why ship stop?" Muse screams. "You broke it," Phillips says calmly. "When you shot the instruments, you triggered the safety cutouts. The ship is dead." It is a lie, but Muse doesn't know ships. He knows skiffs. "Fix it," Muse yells. "I can't," Phillips says. "I'm a deck officer. You need the chief engineer, and he's gone." Muse is frustrated. He has the prize, but he can't drive it to Isle. He turns to Adan. "Go down," Muse orders in Somali. "Find the crew. Find the engineer. Bring him up." Adan nods. He takes Bilal, the teenager. They leave the bright sun of the bridge and descend into the ship. This is their mistake. The Maersk Alabama below decks is a labyrinth. Without lights, it is pitch black. The corridors are narrow. The heat is rising. And the crew knows every bolt, every hatch, every shadow. Mike Perry is watching from the citadel. He has a monitor that runs on emergency battery. He sees the pirates entering the engine room. He looks at the crew. "They're coming," Perry whispers. He picks up a small pocket knife. "I'm going out there." "Mike, don't," a crewman says. "I have to," Perry says. "If they find the citadel, we're all dead. I need to distract them." He unlocks the citadel door. He steps out into the darkness. Perry moves like a ghost. He is barefoot to keep quiet. The steel grating is hot on his feet. He hears Aden's heavy footsteps. The pirate is banging his rifle against the pipes to make noise, trying to scare the crew out. "Come out, American. We kill you." Aden is alone. Bilal has wandered off down another corridor. Aden walks past a large generator housing. Perry waits. His heart is hammering against his ribs. He is not a soldier. He is a mechanic from Florida. But adrenaline is a powerful drug. Aden passes him. Perry lunges. He tackles the pirate from behind. They crash onto the steel deck. The AK-47 skitters away in the dark. Aden is strong. He fights back, punching, biting. Perry yells for help. "I got him! I got him!" Other crew members, hearing the struggle, rush out of the citadel. They swarm the pirate. They hold him down. Aden pulls a knife. He slashes Perry's hand. But there are too many of them. They tie Aden up. They gag him. They drag him into the citadel. Perry stands up, panting, bleeding. He picks up the pirate's radio. He looks at the crew. "We have a hostage," Perry says. He keys the radio. "Bridge, this is the chief engineer. I have your man. If you hurt the captain, we kill him." On the bridge, Muse hears the voice. He looks at Phillips. The dynamic has shifted. It is a stalemate. And stalemates at sea usually end in blood. April 8th, 2009. Midday. The situation on the Maersk Alabama is a stalemate. The pirates hold the bridge and the captain. The crew holds the engine room and one pirate, Aden. The ship is dead in the water, drifting in the Somali basin. The temperature inside the bridge is rising as the sun beats down on the steel. Abduwali Muse is pacing. The cot is wearing off and the paranoia is setting in. He realizes he has lost control. He has a 17,000-ton ship he cannot steer and a crew he cannot find. Captain Phillips sees the doubt in Muse's eyes. "You have a problem," Phillips says calmly. "You can't stay here. The Navy is coming." "You know they are." Muse glares at him. "No Navy. Just business." "The crew has your man," Phillips presses. "They're not going to give him back unless you leave." Muse looks at the dead console. He looks at his remaining men, Ali and the teenager, Bilal. They are nervous. "We make deal," Muse says finally. "Okay," Phillips says. "Here's the deal. You give me back my ship. We give you back your man. And you leave in the lifeboat." "Lifeboat?" Muse asks. "Yes. It has an engine. It has food. It has water. It can get you to Somalia." It is a lie. The lifeboat is designed for survival, not travel. It has fuel for maybe 24 hours. Somalia is hundreds of miles away. But Muse is desperate. He needs a way out. "Okay," Muse says. "We take lifeboat. We trade." The plan is set. Phillips gets on the radio to Mike Perry. "Chief, bring the prisoner to the fantail. We're going to make the swap." "Copy that, Captain," Perry says. "We're coming up." The pirates escort Phillips out of the bridge. They walk down the external stairs. The sun is blinding. Phillips walks with his hands up. Muse walks behind him, the AK-47 pressed into Phillips's spine. They reach the embarkation deck. The lifeboat, Maersk Alabama Lifeboat Number 1, is hanging in its davits. It is 28 feet long, bright orange, fully enclosed. It looks like a submarine designed by a toy company. Phillips shows them how to open the hatch. "You need to start the engine," Muse orders. "I can't start it from here," Phillips says. "I have to be inside." "Get in," Muse says. Phillips climbs into the boat. He checks the fuel. He checks the battery. He starts the engine. Chug, chug, chug. The diesel motor comes to life. Muse, Ali, and Bilal climb in. They are now all inside the boat, hanging 40 feet above the water. Phillips moves to the hatch to get out. "Wait," Muse says. "Where is Aden?" On the deck above, the crew emerges. They are dragging Aden. He is battered. His face is swollen. His hands are tied with zip ties. Shane Murphy yells down to the lifeboat. "We have your man. Let the captain go," Muse yells back. "Send him down, then captain goes." It is the classic prisoner's dilemma. Who moves first? The crew lowers Aden into the lifeboat. Aden scrambles inside. He is angry. He is hurt. He looks at Phillips. "You!" Aden screams. He hits Phillips in the ribs with the butt of his rifle. Phillips doubles over. "Okay, deal is done," Murphy yells from the deck. "Captain, get out!" Phillips tries to stand up. Aden grabs him. He shoves him back onto the bench. "No!" Aden screams to Muse. "We keep him. Insurance. Navy come. We kill him." Muse looks at Phillips. He looks at the open ocean. He knows the lifeboat is slow. He knows the Alabama crew is angry. He needs a human shield. "Change of plan, Irish," Muse says with a cold smile. "No," Phillips yells. "That wasn't the deal." Muse slams the hatch shut. He turns the release lever. Clack. The hooks disengage. The lifeboat drops. Splash. The impact is jarring. The boat rocks violently. Muse guns the engine. The lifeboat churns away from the Maersk Alabama. On the deck, Shane Murphy and Mike Perry watch in horror. "They took him," Perry screams. "They took the captain." They run to the rail. They have weapons, flares, knives, but they can't use them. If they shoot at the boat, they might hit Phillips. The lifeboat is a small orange speck moving away at 6 knots. Inside, the reality sets in immediately. The lifeboat is sealed. The air is already getting hot. The smell of diesel fumes and unwashed bodies fills the small space. Phillips is sitting on a molded plastic bench. His hands are tied. He looks at his 4 captors. They are high on adrenaline and fear. Muse is driving, fighting the tiller. Adan is nursing his wounds, staring at Phillips with pure hatred. Ali is checking the fuel gauge. Bilal, the teenager, is crying softly in the corner. Phillips realizes the magnitude of his situation. He is no longer the captain of a ship. He is cargo. "You lied to me," Phillips says to Muse. Muse doesn't look back. "I save your life, Irish," Muse says. "You thank me later, when we get money." On the Maersk Alabama, Shane Murphy takes command. He rushes to the bridge. "Get the power back on," he orders. "We're following them." Perry races to the engine room. He restarts the generators. The lights flicker on. The radar hums to life. The massive ship turns. It begins to chase the tiny lifeboat. It is a strange sight. A 17,000-ton freighter pursuing a 28-foot lifeboat. Murphy gets on the satellite phone. He calls the UKMTO, United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations. "Mayday, Mayday, this is Maersk Alabama. We have been hijacked. The pirates have fled in the lifeboat with the captain. We are in pursuit. Position." The message goes out to the world. In Bahrain, the U.S. Fifth Fleet receives the call. Vice Admiral Bill Gortney looks at the map. "We have an American citizen held hostage on the high seas," Gortney says. He issues the order. "Send the Bainbridge." The USS Bainbridge, DDG-96, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, is patrolling 300 miles away. Her captain, Commander Frank Castellano, receives the order. "Flank speed," Castellano says. "Get us there yesterday." The destroyer turns. Her gas turbine engines roar. She cuts through the water at 30 knots. The race is on. Night falls on the Indian Ocean. Inside the lifeboat, it is pitch black. There are no lights. The pirates are afraid to use flashlights in case the Navy is watching. The heat is oppressive. It is like being inside a radiator. The boat rocks constantly. Up, down, up, down. Phillips is seasick. The pirates are seasick. Vomit covers the floor. The smell is horrific. Muse is trying to radio his mothership. "Mother, Mother, this is Somali 1. Static. The mothership has fled. They are alone. Adan kicks Phillips. "Shut up!" Adan yells, though Phillips hasn't said a word. Phillips tries to keep his mind sharp. He remembers his training: survive, evade, resist, escape. He starts to work on his bonds. He tests the knot on his wrists. It is tight. He looks at the hatch. It is 5 feet away. If he can get to the hatch, but not tonight. Tonight, he has to survive the dehydration. He watches Bilal. The kid is terrified. "You want water?" Phillips asks softly. Bilal looks at Muse. Muse nods. Phillips uses his tied hands to grab a water packet from the emergency rations. He hands it to the kid. "Drink," Phillips says. It is a small gesture, but it establishes a dynamic. He is not just a victim. He is still a captain, and he is going to manage his crew, even if they are pirates with guns. April 9th, 2009. Dawn. The sun rises over the Indian Ocean, turning the black water into a blinding mirror. Inside the lifeboat, the heat begins to build again. It is a greenhouse. The air is foul with vomit and fear. Captain Phillips is dehydrated. His wrists are raw from the ropes. Abduwali Muse looks out the small, scratched porthole. He freezes. "Ship," Muse whispers. Phillips struggles to look. On the horizon, cutting through the morning haze, is a shape that is not a merchant vessel. It is sharp, gray, and bristling with antennas. The USS Bainbridge, DDG-96. An Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer. It is 509 feet long, displacing 9,200 tons. It carries Tomahawk missiles, torpedoes, and a 5-inch gun capable of vaporizing the lifeboat from 10 miles away. But its most powerful weapon right now is its presence. It pulls up 500 yards off the lifeboat's beam. Its massive radar arrays spin silently. Commander Frank Castellano stands on the bridge wing of the destroyer. He looks at the orange speck bobbing in the swell. "Station keeping," Castellano orders. "Don't let them out of our sight. If they sneeze, I want to know about it." Muse grabs the radio. "Go away," Muse screams. "American Navy, go away or I kill Captain." Castellano's voice comes back, calm and digitized. "This is the United States Navy. We are here to ensure the safety of the hostage. We are prepared to offer food and water. Do not harm the captain." It is a psychological hammer blow. The pirates thought they were fighting an insurance company. Now, they are fighting a superpower. April 10th, 2009. Day 3. The standoff drags on. The Bainbridge is joined by other ships, the frigate USS Halliburton and the amphibious assault ship USS Boxer. The lifeboat is surrounded by a fleet. Inside, the situation is deteriorating. The pirates have run out of cot. Cot is a stimulant. When the high wears off, the crash is brutal. Muse is shaking. He is paranoid. He paces the 3 feet of floor space, muttering to himself. Adan, the muscle, is lethargic but aggressive. He keeps poking Phillips with his gun barrel. "Why they no pay?" Adan asks Muse. "Why no money?" "They pay," Muse snaps. "Elders are coming. Mothership is coming." It is a lie. The mothership has long since fled. Bilal, the teenager, is the worst off. He is suffering from severe withdrawal. He is sweating, crying, and vomiting. Phillips sees the cracks forming. He knows that a crashing addict is unpredictable. "You guys need water," Phillips says softly. "Let me get the rations." "Shut up, Irish," Muse yells. "No tricks." Phillips moves slowly. He uses his tied hands to open a locker. He pulls out emergency water packets. He hands one to Bilal. Bilal takes it. He looks at Phillips with something like gratitude. Muse slaps the water out of his hand. "No American water," Muse screams. "They poison us." He is losing his grip on reality. Night falls. April 10th. The moon is full. It illuminates the ocean like a spotlight. The Bainbridge is lurking nearby, Its running lights dim. Inside the lifeboat, the heat is stifling. Ali, the driver, opens the rear hatch to urinate. He leaves it open for a moment to let in some air. Phillips sees his chance. Muse and Aden are arguing in the bow about the radio. Bilal is asleep. Phillips calculates the distance. The Bainbridge is maybe 200 yards away. He is a strong swimmer. He grew up in the water. If he can just get out. He lunges. He shoves Ali aside. He dives through the open hatch. Splash! The water is warm. He's gone, Ali screams. Phillips kicks hard. His hands are still tied, so he has to dolphin kick, using his core strength. He breaks the surface. He gasps for air. He sees the destroyer. It looks like a mountain of steel. "Help!" Phillips screams. "I'm here." On the Bainbridge, a lookout spots him. "Man in the water! Man in the water!" Searchlights snap on. Blinding white beams sweep the ocean. They find Phillips, but they also illuminate him for the pirates. Muse grabs his AK-47. He runs to the hatch. He sees Phillips bobbing in the spotlight. Muse raises the rifle. He doesn't aim to miss. Crack, crack, crack. Bullets hit the water inches from Phillips' head. "Come back," Muse screams. "I kill you. Come back." Phillips dives underwater, but he can't hold his breath forever. He surfaces. Aden is there now too, firing his pistol. The water around him is churning with lead. Phillips stops. He realizes he won't make it. The destroyer is too far. The SEALs, who have just arrived on the Bainbridge, can't shoot because Phillips is in the line of fire. He raises his hands. "Don't shoot!" Phillips yells. "I'm coming back!" Phillips swims back to the lifeboat. Ali grabs him by the hair and drags him inside. The hatch slams shut. The beating begins. It is not a disciplinary beating. It is a release of rage. Muse hits him with the stock of the AK-47. Adan kicks him in the ribs. "You try escape?" Muse screams. "You think we stupid?" They hit him until he curls into a ball. "No more games, Irish," Muse spits on him. "Next time, bullet in head." They tie him up tighter. They use ropes to bind his hands behind his back, then tie his feet to his hands in a hog tie position. They throw him into the corner of the boat. He is bleeding from his head. His ribs are likely cracked. He lies in the vomit and bilge water. He looks at the ceiling of the lifeboat. He realizes that escape is impossible. He is cargo. And damaged cargo gets thrown overboard. April 11th, 2009. The seas are getting rougher. The lifeboat is pitching violently. The pirates are sick. They are out of water. They are exhausted. Commander Castellano on the Bainbridge knows this. He starts to turn the screws. He gets on the radio. "This is the Navy. We want to resolve this peacefully. We can see you are having trouble with the sea state." Muse listens. He is barely holding it together. "We want tow," Muse demands. "Tow us to calm water." This is exactly what the Navy wants. A tow line connects the lifeboat to the destroyer. It limits their movement. It brings them into sniper range. "We can do that," Castellano says. "But we need to inspect you first. Send your leader over to negotiate." It is a trap. Muse is suspicious. "No leader," Muse says. "We have elders from your clan on the radio," Castellano lies. "They want to talk to you, but only on our ship." The promise of elders is the bait. In Somali culture, the elders are the ultimate authority. If the elders are involved, the money is close. Muse looks at his men. "I go," Muse says. "I get money. I come back." Adan grabs his arm. "No, it is trick." "Shut up," Muse pulls away. "I am captain." The Bainbridge sends a RHIB, rigid hull inflatable boat. Muse climbs out of the lifeboat. He gets into the Navy boat. He is taken to the destroyer. As soon as he steps on the deck of the Bainbridge, he is handcuffed. The leader is captured. Now, There are only 3 pirates left in the lifeboat, and they are leaderless, terrified, and holding a gun to Richard Phillips' head. The Bainbridge attaches a tow line to the lifeboat. They begin to reel it in, slowly. 80 meters, 70 meters, 60 meters. On the fantail of the destroyer, the SEAL team, DevGru, is setting up. 3 snipers. They have Barrett .300 Win Mag rifles. They are lying prone on the steel deck. It is night again. They are using thermal optics. They can see the heat signatures inside the lifeboat through the plastic windows. They see Phillips, a cool blob on the floor. They see the 3 pirates, hot blobs moving erratically above him. But the shot is impossible. The lifeboat is bobbing. The destroyer is swaying. The window of opportunity, where all 3 pirates are visible at the same time, is milliseconds long. If they shoot one, the others will kill Phillips before the second bullet arrives. They need the perfect sync. They wait. They breathe. They watch the green ghosts in their scopes. And inside the box, Aiden cocks his AK-47. He points it at Phillips' back. "End now," Aiden whispers. April 12, 2009. Twilight. It is Easter Sunday. On the fantail of the USS Bainbridge, the mood is grim. The sun is setting, casting long shadows over the Indian Ocean. The lifeboat is now only 30 meters behind the destroyer. Commander Frank Castellano has ordered the tow line shortened. He says it is to move the lifeboat into calmer water, into the wake of the massive ship. In reality, it is to bring the targets into the kill zone. Inside the lifeboat, the pirates are unraveling. Abdulwali Muse is gone, held captive on the destroyer. That leaves Adan, the muscle, Ali, the driver, and Bilal, the teenager. They know they have been tricked. They know Muse isn't coming back with the money. Adan takes charge. He is angry. He is humiliated. And he is done waiting. He grabs Captain Phillips. "Tie him," Adan screams at Ali. They drag Phillips from the corner. They tie his hands even tighter, cutting off the circulation. They tie his ankles. Phillips knows what this means. It is the preparation for an execution. He starts to pray. "The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want." Adan hits him. "Shut up!" Adan points the AK-47 at Phillips's back. He racks the slide. Cha-chick. The sound is loud in the small plastic box. "We kill you now," Adan whispers. "Then we die." On the fantail of the Bainbridge, the SEAL team snipers are lying prone. There are 3 of them. Red team. They are looking through high-powered scopes with night vision. The image is a grainy green phosphor. They see the heat signatures inside the lifeboat. The window of opportunity is terrifyingly small. The lifeboat is bobbing in the waves. The destroyer is swaying. The pirates are moving. To take the shot, they need the perfect sync. All 3 pirates must be visible at the exact same instant. If Sniper 1 shoots Adan and Sniper 2 misses Ali, Ali will spray the interior of the boat with bullets and kill Phillips before the sound of the first shot even registers. The team leader is on the headset with Commander Castellano on the bridge. "Target 1 is visible," the sniper whispers. "Head and shoulders." "Target 2 is visible, in the hatch." "Target 3, negative, he's behind the hostage." They wait. The tow line creaks. The ocean hisses. Inside the lifeboat, Adan moves. He pushes Phillips down. He raises the rifle to the back of Phillips's head. The movement shifts his position. Through the scope, the sniper sees Adan's head clear the obstruction. "Target 3 is visible," the sniper says. "I have the shot. I have the shot. I have the shot." The authorization comes from the bridge. Execute. 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 The physics of the shot are complex. The snipers have to account for wind, the speed of the tow, the drop of the bullet, and the roll of the ocean. They breathe out. They squeeze the triggers. Crack. Crack, crack. 3 shots, fired within milliseconds of each other. The bullets travel the 30 meters in a fraction of a second. They punch through the plastic windows of the lifeboat. Inside, the effect is instantaneous. Adan is hit in the head. He drops the AK-47. He falls backward. Ali, standing in the hatch, is hit in the head. He collapses into the bilge. Bilal, the teenager, is hit in the head. He never hears the sound. It is clinical. It is absolute. There is no firefight. There is no screaming. Just the sound of the shots, the shattering of plastic, and then silence. Phillips is huddled on the floor, squeezed tight, waiting for the bullet to enter his brain. He feels warm liquid splatter on his neck. He thinks it is his own blood. He waits to die. He doesn't realize that the blood belongs to the men who were about to kill him. Targets down, the team leader reports. The SEALs move instantly. ARHIB, rigid hull inflatable boat, races from the side of the Bainbridge. A team of operators boards the lifeboat. They don't know if the pirates are dead or just wounded. They move with lethal efficiency. They breach the hatch. U.S. Navy! U.S. Navy! They scan the interior with flashlights. 3 bodies. Massive trauma. They check Phillips. He is curled in a ball, tied up, covered in blood and brain matter. A SEAL cuts the ropes. Captain Phillips? Phillips looks up. He is shaking uncontrollably. Are you hit? Are you hit? I don't think so, Phillips stammers. Is that my blood? The SEAL checks him quickly. No bullet holes. You're safe, sir. We got him. You're safe. They lift him out of the lifeboat. The fresh air hits his face. The smell of the ocean replaces the smell of the orange coffin. They put him in the RHIB. They speed back to the destroyer. As they pull away, the lifeboat bobs in the water, a floating tomb. They bring him up the gangway of the Bainbridge. The crew of the destroyer is lining the rails. They want to cheer, but they see the state of him. He is covered in filth. He is barefoot. He is in shock. They stay silent, respectful. Commander Castellano meets him on the deck. "Welcome aboard, Captain," Castellano says. Phillips nods. He can't speak. The adrenaline crash is hitting him like a sledgehammer. They take him to the medical bay. The corpsmen cut off his clothes. They wash the blood off his skin. They check his vitals. His heart rate is through the roof. He is dehydrated. He has bruised ribs and lacerations on his wrists and ankles. But he is alive. He sits on the exam table, wrapped in a warm navy blanket. He looks at his hands. They are shaking so hard he can't hold a cup of water. The doctor puts a hand on his shoulder. "It's over, Richard. You're going home." In the brig of the Bainbridge, Abduwali Muse hears the shots. He knows what they mean. He sits on the bunk, his hands cuffed. A guard comes in. "Your friends are dead," the guard says. Muse doesn't react. He stares at the wall. He knows the game is over. He is not a pirate king. He is a prisoner of war. He will be flown to New York. He will be tried as an adult. He will be sentenced to 33 years in a federal supermax prison. But in that moment, in the brig, he is just a young man who gambled everything on a fiberglass skiff and lost. Back in the medical bay, a satellite phone is brought to Phillips. "Your wife is on the line, Captain." Phillips takes the phone. "Andrea?" In Vermont, Andrea Phillips has been living in a nightmare for 5 days. The press is camped on her lawn. The Navy has been giving her cryptic updates. When she hears his voice, she breaks down. "Rich? Oh my God, Rich." "I'm okay, honey," Phillips says. His voice cracks. The tears finally come. "I'm okay. I'm coming home." He hangs up. He lies back on the cot. He closes his eyes. For the first time in 5 days, he sleeps. Not the fitful, terrified sleep of a hostage, but the deep, exhausted sleep of a man who has walked out of his own grave. The rescue is complete. But the story isn't over, because a man who survives a firing squad is never the same man again. April 17, 2009, Burlington, Vermont. Captain Richard Phillips steps off the plane. The tarmac is crowded, not with pirates, but with cameras. CNN, Fox News, the BBC. They are all there. He is wearing a clean shirt. He is shaved, but his eyes are tired. He hugs his wife, Andrea. He hugs his children. The crowd cheers. Hero, hero, hero. Phillips winces slightly at the word. In his mind, he is not a hero. He is a captain who lost his ship, got taken hostage, and was saved by men with guns. He goes home to his farmhouse. The contrast is jarring. A week ago, he was in a plastic box in the Indian Ocean, covered in vomit and blood, with an AK-47 pressed to his spine. Now, he is sitting in his living room. The snow is melting outside. The house is quiet. But the quiet is loud. He jumps when the phone rings. He checks the locks on the doors 3 times a night. He has nightmares. In the dreams, the SEALs miss. In the dreams, Adon pulls the trigger. He meets the SEALs who saved him. They are quiet professionals. They drink a beer with him. "You did good, Captain," the team leader says. "You held it together." Phillips nods. "I just wanted to go home." He realizes that survival isn't a singular event. It's a process. And the hardest part is accepting that you're alive when the men next to you are dead. April 20th, 2009, New York City. Abduwali Muse arrives in the United States. He is the first person to be charged with piracy in an American court in over a century. He is handcuffed, shackled, and surrounded by federal marshals. As he is led into the courthouse, the paparazzi flashbulbs explode. Muse looks up. He smiles. It is a wide, confused, almost childish smile. The media jumps on it. The smiling pirate. They call him a sociopath. They say he is mocking America. But the truth is more tragic. Muse is 20 years old, though his mother claims he is 16. He has never been out of Somalia. He has never seen a skyscraper. He has never seen a paved road like this. He is overwhelmed. He thinks the cameras mean he is famous. He thinks maybe this is part of the movie. Then he enters the courtroom. The smile vanishes. The prosecutors read the charges: piracy, kidnapping, hostage-taking, conspiracy. The sentence is mandatory, life in prison. Muse breaks down. He cries. "I am sorry," he sobs through a translator. "I was forced. The investors made me." It doesn't matter. The law is absolute. He is sentenced to 33 years in a federal supermax prison. He disappears into the American penal system. The Pirate King of Isle is now inmate number 70636-054. He spends his days in a concrete cell, thousands of miles from the ocean, wondering how a fisherman ends up in a cage in Indiana. Not everyone is cheering for Captain Phillips. The crew of the Maersk Alabama, the men who hid in the Citadel, the men who captured Aden, are angry. They file a lawsuit against Maersk Line and Waterman Steamship Corp. They claim negligence. "He sailed too close," Chief Engineer Mike Perry says in a deposition. "We warned him. The warning said stay 600 miles out. He stayed 240 miles out to save fuel." The narrative of the hero captain gets muddy. Was Phillips brave? Yes. He offered himself as a hostage to save his crew. But was he reckless? Did his stubborn adherence to the schedule put them in danger in the first place? The crew feels forgotten. Phillips got the book deal. Phillips got the movie. They got trauma and a settlement check. Phillips defends himself. "I'm the captain," he says. "I made the call. We are paid to go into harm's way. That's the job." It is a bitter aftertaste to the rescue. It reminds the world that in real life, there are no perfect heroes. There are just people making impossible decisions in impossible situations. The friendship between Phillips and his officers is strained. The bond of the sea is broken by the lawyers on land. Most people would retire. They would take the movie money, buy a house in Florida, and never look at the ocean again. Richard Phillips is not most people. He is a merchant mariner. It is not what he does, it is what he is. He packs his bag. He puts on his uniform. He walks up the gangway of another ship. He goes back to sea. Why? Because it's my job, Phillips says. He sails through the Gulf of Aden again. But things have changed. The ships now carry armed guards. There are barbed wire coils on the rails. The Navy patrols are aggressive. Piracy drops. The business model of Isle collapses. Phillips stands on the bridge wing of his new ship. He looks at the horizon. He sees a skiff. His heart hammers for a second. He raises his binoculars. It is just fishermen, real fishermen. He lowers the glasses. He breathes. He realizes that the fear will never fully leave him, but neither will the duty. The ocean is a mirror. It reflects who we are. On April 8, 2009, two worlds collided in the Indian Ocean. One was a world of steel, schedules, and global commerce, the world of Captain Richard Phillips. The other was a world of dust, desperation, and chaos, the world of Abduwali Muse. They met on the deck of the Maersk Alabama. For 5 days, the world watched a drama played out in a 28-foot orange lifeboat. It was a story of survival, of 3 Navy SEALs and 3 bullets. But underneath the Hollywood ending, there is a harder truth. Captain Phillips went back to sea because that is where he belongs. Abduwali Muse sits in a cell because that is the price of his gamble. The shipping lanes are safer now, patrolled by drones and destroyers. But the hunger that drove 4 young men to attack a mountain of steel hasn't gone away. The sea doesn't care about economics. It doesn't care about justice. It is vast, deep, and indifferent. And for the men who sail it, whether on a bridge or in a skiff, the rule remains the same. Keep a sharp lookout. Hold your course. And pray that when the storm comes, you are strong enough to weather it.